Hey everybody, it's your man Type coming to you with another true spook story. Now, before I begin, I would like to ask that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share me if you're feeling the content. I love doing these stories, and I just can't thank you guys enough for paying attention and listening to me. So, without any further ado, let me go ahead and dive into this piece. Well, again, this story is going to take place in Orlando, Florida area, but we're going to be downtown Orlando. That would be Paramore, Westmoreland, Gulf Street, uh, Buck Alley, all in that area there. Shit, even all the way down to 29th Street, 18th Street. That's OBT area. Kaylee, that's where the hookers and the hoes be. Um, you can buy you some coochie though. You can buy you some coochie on that strip if you go down there. Now, but be careful. Everything is not what it cracked up to be. No pun intended. All right, so with this thing taking place down there, so we're going to talk about the homeless population here in Central Florida. And I mean, we don't have it as bad as somewhere like Philadelphia and all these other this places with the skid row energy. But I'm telling you, it's pretty harsh. Well, right off of Kaylee, I want to say Kaylee and Westmoreland, there's a duplex, a beige duplex, like a orangish beige duplex with red trimming on the wall. It's been that color for years. Well, there was a spiritual man that lived there, and well, he still does. It's a him. He still lives there, and he was known for exploiting the homeless population of the downtown area. They would come there. He would go to the dope man, which is me at this time. I'm a dope man. So, I had found the plug, the hookup. So he'll come to me, he'll give me about $400. I give him about $400 worth of crack, I've been there, cut it up and bagged it in the individual bags for him and things like that. So when the crackheads and the homeless jugs and shit came there, he would make them do favors for him, sex him up. I don't know what he's doing. I don't put me. I'm not gonna lie. Put the man in and put the man out there like that. But I just know he was exploiting them with money, crack, drink, whatever. So for about 4, 5 years, people, from the time I was like 18 to like 22, this was a heavy client. He was steady. I knew every month I'm gonna get $400, $500 out of him, for a little bit of something, a little bit of dope. Like clockwork. 4, 5 years. 4, 5 years this went on. So one day I'm chilling with grandma. And I when you're riding around with grandma, cause now she in my whip. So I'm riding around with grandma and I'm like, hey grandma. I said, you wanna go? I said, you'll make a stop with me right quick. Cause my daddy lived down the road. So I said, you want to make a stop with me? She like, I'm riding with you. She say, just drop me. She say, take me to the corner store to get me some tobacco. I say, can I get you a box of it? Like about 4, 5 She was like, you got money like that, nigga? All right, bitch. I said, grandma, stop. And she started laughing and, we riding together and she laughing. So I go to the 7-Eleven at the corner of Kaylee in OBT. That's when it was 7-Eleven. Now it's some other little Sitco or something. So I go up there and I get about 6 bags of Levi Garrett Red Man Golden Blend. Get a cup of coffee and all that good stuff. So we riding and we chilling. So I say, grandma, stop with me right quick. So I go stop. So I pull up to the house. I ain't think grandma knew nothing about this, right? I just thought, I'm just making another crack sale. Grandma ain't gonna know nothing. I had got a little shoe box and shit, and I'm like, I gotta take these shoes over there. I had it all planned out nice and neat. So grandma just had that look on her face, and she ain't say nothing. She just looked sideways. Say, leave the air on. I say, I ain't gonna be long. She say, So I'm like, what's wrong with grandma? So, so I go and I go in there. What's up, bro? Knock on the door. As soon as you knock on the door, it automatically pop open. It ain't like the latch one match or something to the doorknob. I don't know. Man, I walk over in that motherfucker, go in there, talk, get the little cash, give him the box, and I walk out. So I'm in the car driving back home. Grandma real silent, y'all. Grandma like, man, fuck that shit. So I said, Grandmama, what's going on? I said, you just clammed up on me and stuff. I said, we good? I said, did I make you upset, Grandma? She said, how you know that bitch? I said, who? That motherfucking man in that house. You taking them drugs too. I said, Grandma, that wasn't no drugs. I said, you know I ain't in no dope game. I'm a good dude. I work at mobile gas station. And she laughing and she said, I'm serious, boy. I know you selling drugs. My son told me, your uncle already told me you sell for him. I said, oh my God. So I was like, okay, cool. I say, I've been knowing it for a minute, Grandma. I say, I just go in there and drop him off. She said, did you ever take a shit at his house? I say, no, ma'am. She said, yeah, never use his bathroom. I say, why can't I use his bathroom? I say, if I'm hustling on the corner, and I got a toilet to use versus having to drive all the way back home and lose some money, She said, listen to me. Just trust me. Don't take no shit at his house. Now, people, I'm freaking the hell out because Grandma is in that bit talking about taking shits in random dudes' houses, and she pretty adamant about me taking a shit at this man's house, not to do it. So I say, now, Grandma, now, you know how we rock. You got to tell me. So I pull over. We driving down OBT. So I pull over right by the post office at the it was a little Church of Chicken. Dago. I pull off at the Church of Chicken. I say, let me get you some Church of Chicken, Grandma, before I take you to the house. So we pull in there and we walk in Church of Chicken, and the whole time we waiting to order, she telling me the story, and here it go, people. She say, let me guess, you give him some dope, and all the homeless people know where to go get the dope at, and they do favors, keep his house clean and all that, keep the yard. I said, yeah, they walk his dogs and everything. He said, mm-hmm. And he said he let them people take baths and shit at his house too to freshen up and stuff. I said, yeah. I said, yo, old nigga, you probably fucking some of the little transit women. I say, probably they screwing the transit dudes. I say, I don't know. I say, but, they seem to love him. He say, now, let me tell you something. She say, do you see that woman over there? I say, yes, ma'am. Now, I'm going to stop it right there, and I'm finna hit y'all with how the lady look. Now, this homeless lady, she had a real fly shape. I mean, real great skin. Only way you could tell she was homeless just due to the fact that she was sitting over there talking to herself. And she was dirty, pissed on herself, probably crapped on herself. I don't know. You can tell she sleep outside on the ground. But other than that, you get that motherfucker a shower, put some lotion on the bed. She could stand the test of time, boy. And she said, you see that bitch over there? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what if I told you that lady ain't nothing but 43? I say, 43? I'm like, that lady look every bit of 60. Say the lady 43 years old. She used to live downstairs from Nail. I say, the chick, granddaddy was dealing with? Say, yep. All her life. I say, so what she got to do with old boy? And Grandma like, well, she went over there. And because Grandma used to live on Cayley, 901 Cayley Street, South Cayley. Well, she went over there one time. And she went to his house because she said she had to use the bathroom real bad. 2 weeks later, she was out there on OBT, right up the road from that house. I say, serious, Grandma? Yeah. And I said, so what are you trying to say? She said, I ain't trying to say nothing. I'm telling you I'm telling you. So I say, okay, break it down, Grandma, because, if the bitch doing some crazy shit, I need to watch my back. So Grandma virtually said that the dude would, allow the homeless, that particular homeless person, she was very good looking young girl, but she had been out there on them dope for 4 or 5 years. So she 43. Grandma said, but she looked every bit of 60, like Crystal Melton hit her ass hard. So Grandma said she used to go over there and she used to borrow money from him, probably suck his dick, probably, let him hit here and there. But all of a sudden, Grandma said her plumbing stopped. And she said she was going to stay 1 or 2 days with him. And, old cat, good-looking woman. Who ain't going to say yay to it? So she said, the girl said she had to take a shit. And the man claimed that his toilet was busted, broken, and it couldn't flush. So he had to call a plumber. So now this lady done already relieved herself in the man's toilet and shit, people. This is a little gross, but it is what it is. So she done relieved herself. So after she done relieved herself, she jump in the shower. Boom, she clean herself up, because she can't wipe and throw the tissue, and that's crazy. So she said she left and she went out looking for a job, food stamp office. I don't know what she did, but boom, she went and did her thing. So when she got back, she said the toilet was fixed, and all of a sudden, Grandma said she saw the lady on the street selling ass, doing dope, going crazy. So Grandma told me she kept trying to talk to the woman, saying, "Why you leaving your apartment?" Because she had a perfectly good apartment right up under, granddaddy mistress. And she was like, "Go on the gunja, leave me alone. I'm doing me. I'm living life." So months passed, years passed. The lady lost her place. They evicted her. She's on the street. She just on the street. Grandma said. So now let me tell you what this bitch did to her. Say what he did. He took her shit. All the stuff she had ate. All the time she enjoyed a meal. All the time she ever just did anything. And when you gotta relieve that shit, that pressure, that stress. See that the last thing a bitch need to get from you is your shit. I say what? I say, now we got shit magic, Grandma. She said, it's not shit magic. It's called releasing magic. Get it right. I say, releasing magic. I say, so give me the backstory. She said, so back in the day, and this is her words, people. She said, back in the day when slave owners, slaves, used to be out there in the cotton field and picking shit or doing anything in the field, they couldn't just go to a portalet or a Porta John. So they would have to cop a squad right there. Say the overseers back in the slave days would go and pick up pieces of the slave's shit. And they would take up pieces of the slave shit on sticks and shit, and they would say which slave it came from. And they would take these sticks. That's why we call it shit stick in the South. Like, bitch, that's a real shit stick. So, mean that I got you now, nigga. That's how we say it in Orlando. Like, bitch, that's a shit stick. Meaning, bitch, I got some over on you. So that's the premise of it. So they say they would take it to the little white witch lady, voodoo woman, whatever you want to call it, back in the day in the South, and she would put them all in a flower pot with real soil, put the sticks in there with the shit upright. So, the flies come blow it. Now, as the flies are blowing on that shit and everything, it's causing your mind to be fucking like messed up, confused, and all that stuff. I'm just giving you the premise from what she told me and how it looked in my head. So she said, now, if you know anything about flies create hunger, jealousy, all that stuff. It just makes you an addict and it makes you addicted to your dreams and hopes and shit, but you never achieve them. So Grandma said, that's what he did to her. He took her shit and he put it in a planter's pot and set it on the back porch, put it under a tent. He'll probably throw a piece of raw meat back there to draw the flies. And this man had the whole homeless population downtown Orlando in his backyard, people, under a tarp, fucking them people up. So now they will go out there and hook and hold. They'll go out there and rob and steal. They'll go out there and beg on the street. And right then and there, they would bring the money back to him to buy dope from me. You see how the shit roll out. So Grandma say, whatever you do, don't take a shit at his house. Don't piss on his yard. Don't do nothing. I said, all right, Grandma, you say less. You already told me what the deal was. Now, that right there, people, that just was a backstory. That wasn't the creepy shit. Now we finna get into the creepy shit, right? So, there was this other man. I'm going to say, we're going to call him Todd. No, that's not Todd. Todd is friend. This dude here is called Steve. They call him the running man. And Steve, so before I get into it, now this creepy shit, let me tell you about Steve. Y'all gotta know these characters, people. They real people. So Steve, we call Steve the running man. So anytime we cook up a new batch of dope, we do, dope rock, crack rock, we would sit up there and we would find Steve. Steve was a tester. Now, let me tell you something. If that dope wasn't good, we'll know. If somebody cut the bitch or too much baking soda, however, and Steve didn't get the reaction that we known this bitch to get, pussy nigga, you got some trouble on your hand because you just sold me some bap, you perk. I don't know what it is, but bitch, we finna talk some hands. You need to give me. Run me my shit. So we'll call and get Steve. Steve the running man. Now Steve and Grandma were real cool. He called Grandma Mama, and she would give him a little cash money here and there, because he was always cleaning up around her house too. But because he just needed some money, and she was just a kind lady. Well, so we called Steve. Steve was a tester. Steve hit the crack, boom. After Steve hit the crack, he'll throw the stem down on the ground or the couch or whatever, and he'll just like walk around like he doing wine tasting. Bitch, and all of a sudden if he take off his shirt, because he was really built up and very athletic. If he take off his shirt and just take off running up the road like a track star, bitch, you a good batch. If he sat up there and be like, I don't feel nothing, man, you got a problem. So that's that. So the dude had Steve, over there to the house. Steve was his number one contender. So Steve used to go over there, hang out, chill. So, Steve was like, man, something ain't right. Steve started feeling like something ain't right every time he walked in the man's house. And Steve would go to grandmama and be like, hey, Gunju, it's just something funky about that man's house. He's like, because Steve used the word funky a lot. He like, it's something funky about that man's house, man. But, he give me dope and shit. And, he say, only thing he tell me to do, I can take a shower, get fresh, relieve myself and go. And he don't ask for no ass or nothing. Say, but it's just weird to me. And Grandma never knew the house what he was talking about. So one day, Steve got the notion to go get Grandma some tobacco from the store. So Steve mentioned, hey, I got to pass by Westmoreland and Kaylee and everything, and I'm going to make a stop before I get here. And Grandma said, don't you stop at nobody's house. I mean it, Steve. Bring me my shit, then you go do what you do. But Steve didn't listen. So Steve stopped. He went into the house, talked to the dude. They hung out about 5-10 minutes because he rode a bike. Hung out 5-10 minutes. Steve put my grandma back down next to the couch. So I thought the man thought that, the tobacco was for Steve and Running Man. So I guess the man tried to swipe in and do some gift magic type shit. So he like, hey man, go and use the bathroom. It's hot out there. I just dropped a new roll of tissue, the toilet fit, go and use the bathroom, bro. And he said, don't flush though. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, then he did some kind of shit, however Steve would tell him. So Steve was like, yeah. So Steve go in there, wipe his nuts, freshen up, hit a shower, take a shit, then flush. Got out of there. So while Steve was in there doing that, Steve said he got Grandma back and he slit it open and he opened it a little bit. So he took some of the excrement from himself, people, and put it in Grandma backer. Now, bitch, you done fucked up here because Grandma's sensitive to this magic shit. So he thought that Steve was going to, eat the backer or whatever. So now he not only got Steve's shit, he also finna have Steve eat his shit. This shit get crazy, people. I can't make this shit up now. I'm telling you now. So, Steve got the backer, and he like, yeah, man, this some good backer. Levi Red Man Golden Blend. He like, yeah. And he say, yeah, this for a ganja. And Steve say when he said a ganja name, dude, like, give me that backer. So Steve thought the man was trying to rob and take Grandma's shit. So Steve fought him off a little bit. Bitch, you crazy. Gunju, she good to me. So he took the backer, boom, hopped on his bike, floated. So the dude was looking all scared and shit. So Grandma say Steve brought back the backer. Say she unfolded it and it was open a little bit. And she said it had a fucked up smell to it. It didn't smell like freshly opened wet tobacco. So it smelled like funk tobacco. Man, Grandma said, Steve, what the fuck you did to this backer? And he like, nothing. And Grandma said, then where you stopped at? He said, you stopped over there at old boy house, took a shower, shit and all that. And say, did you leave my back on that motherfucking table? And I'm like, yeah, just for 5-10 minutes. So Grandma took the backer and she threw it at Steve. Get the fuck out of here. You take this backer and you go dump that shit in his front yard. Dump it in that bitch front yard. Nah. So Grandma started talking to Steve for a while. So Grandma said, okay, she got to fix this dude. Here we go, people. Here go the creepy shit. So Grandma went to his house and Grandma walk to his backyard, because it was you park your car on the side of the street, you can walk up the sideway on the side of the house, open the gate, go back there. The gate didn't make no noise. So grandma walked back there and she saw all the shit pots, the shit sticks, and everything like that. So grandma said she gonna fix this bitch. Now I'm finna tell y'all how to deflect this spell, people, because this shit is real. And if you didn't know, now you know. So grandma had her spray bottle with some ammonia in it. And grandma went back there and she beat on this fucking window. Boom, 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 boom. And grandma was like, get your motherfucking ass out here. Bitch, you tried to curse me with your shit. Tried to get me on your motherfucking zombie team. Get your ass out here. So grandma, boom, 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 boom. Now, we got our family known for fucking bitches up. So it ain't like he was gonna come out there and shoot grandma, hit grandma, and nothing. They were like, Gunji, what the fuck you got going on? So grandma had the spray bottle with straight ammonia in it. No water, no salt, no Florida water. This is straight ammonia. So grandma started spraying all his shit pots. Spraying around his shit spot. And he like, Gunji, what the fuck you doing? What you doing? You breaking my spell? What you doing? What you doing? And she like, bitch, you don't try to do no spell work on me. I'm finna neutralize all this shit. I'm finna neutralize everything you got going. I'm finna free these motherfucking bums and homeless vagabonds that you sitting your ass up here thinking you control it. Cause you fuck with the wrong one. I was gonna leave your business alone, bitch. So grandma went to spraying everything. Pot after pot. Grandma spraying. He out there screaming, y'all come get her. She crazy. She crazy. Nah. Then grandma opened the bottle up and poured it all around the backyard. Like as she was walking out, what she didn't spray, she was pouring the shit, like backing up, pouring the shit on the ground, killing her essence as she leaves. So he went and talked to her, because grandma cursing, she had back in her mouth, so she spit. Grandma wanted to make sure she didn't leave no trace of nothing. So this is the backup, people. So now as grandma get to her car, he run out there with his hands on his shirt. And he like, man, y'all crazy. Now, remember I told you about the lady that looked real good and shit, looked old, but she was young. So she comes out the house. And when that lady come out the house, that lady said, what the fuck going on? And grandma said, you're free now, bitch. You're free. Get away from him and don't come back. So when the lady looked around talking about I'm free, she like, I've never been captured before. And I promise y'all this, listen to me good. Because the lady had just went in there, showered, clean, maybe they screwed, I don't know. The lady said, Gunju, take me to my house. And grandma like, bitch, you ain't got a house no more. You been walking the street for 5 years. And she like, no, I haven't. I just came over here today. People, that man took that woman's mind and had her trapped on a shit stick in his backyard now. The story ain't over. Nah, grandma like, no, you can't get in my car, bitch, no. So grandma floated off. Boom. So now the neighborhood dope boys know what's going on. Everybody talking. Grandma just floated on a nigga, just did her thing. Now everybody like, oh man, tight, gonna fuck your grandma up. He got some, back then we weren't using the word hitters. He said, we got some motherfucker to fuck you up. We got some jump boys. So everybody like, no, nigga, let's just leave them people alone there. So everybody knew. So now all the homeless people that was coming to his house getting dope and all that shit there, they wasn't coming to him no more. They weren't fucking with him no more, people. They was just like, I don't like it. He like, hey man, y'all want some dope? I got all this hard in here. I got all this hard. And they like, no, we don't want none. We good. A lot of the homeless people in the neighborhood start getting jobs. They start getting jobs, man. They start working at the labor pool, and they start purchasing their dope from other people. Or some of them even got off the street all in general. Some of them went back home, caught buses back to their hometowns and shit. So he was like, man, they done fucked up my business. They gunned you with the bullshit. So he decided to go over there to what's the road? Richmond Heights, and he decided to talk to the witch lady over there. Now this witch lady, her house got torn down. I don't know why. She had a big old E on her house. I don't know, in Richmond Heights over there by the Willie Mays driveway, it was an E over there. A big giant E on a doorstep and an E in a driveway that they spray painted there. But I don't know what the E mean. Don't tell me. I mean, I can't tell you, but the E was there. So he decided to go over there to her to get some witch work done so he could get his clientele back because nobody was helping him. He's sitting on all this dope. Ain't no money coming in, no favors. He ain't using these people essence, to sell because he was pimping the women like this, and he had the men punting for change, and they would bring the change back to him. He would give him a portion. This shit was like very organized, people. This shit finna get real crazy, and I know y'all not gonna believe me, but I'm gonna tell you guys proof. Y'all, I got real fucking proof that y'all could go to the news and see this. The news in Central Florida. So he goes up there. The lady do some spell work for him. Tell him, okay, only thing you got to do, sprinkle this on your driveway. When the homeless people walk past, they'll definitely, be attracted to come in and see you, and you can start this process all over again. But the lady said, listen, do not let her gun you know I help you. Cause she did the spell to break this shit. So I ain't finna be fucked up angry with my friend over this shit. He like, okay, I keep my mouth shut, it is what it is. So he did what he said. People, within 2 months, that man had the whole shit popping again. No pun intended. He had everything popping again. So, now he calling me tight, bring me some dope, bitch. I'm in business. So I say, damn, I thought grandma shut him down. So I say, hey, grandma, old boy back in business. She say, well, as long as the bitch don't try me, he could do what the fuck he want to do. That bitch tried me. So that was that. So grandma ended that chapter. Now, there was a whole new set of homeless people in the area. A whole new set. All the other homeless people had started doing good. So this was a whole new set of homeless people in the area. These people was younger people, prettier, and just more ambitious. But here's the fucked up part about it. The majority of them was Hispanic people, like Hispanic, El Salvadorians, and Russians. These people that really didn't speak, didn't have passports or anything like this. So now here go the fucked up shit about this story here. So now, back in the day, the Russian Mafia, the Russians, they motherfuckers was pretty cool over there for Kayla. They Ukrainians, I'm probably saying it wrong. Not the Ukrainian. I don't know the different people. I'm sorry. Them the motherfucker that be on the TV shows and that be cutting off legs and shit, the foot and stuff. I guess they Ukrainians. So these are Ukrainian Mafia, not Russia. God forgive me. But yeah, so the Ukrainians was all down that bitch, and they had a little thing. So the Ukrainian found out that what he was doing. So the Ukrainians go and talk to him, and I was serving some dope there, so I knew what was going on. So the Ukrainians were like, so they come by you, they come bring you this, they come bring you that. Yeah, he said, yeah, I got it on lock. He said, so here is the thing. I leave my man here with you. They bring you what they bring you from panhandling, from selling pussy, whatever. And you give me 70% and I let you live. I let you do this. I mean, it's a great motherfucking deal, bitch, because only thing they have to do is just send some cops in or fuck up the neighborhood. Now, ain't nobody making no money because this is just a small town, little dope nigga that did it, that have doing one little spell to get bitches to, that was his livelihood. He wasn't no heavy hitter. So with the help of the Ukrainian Mafia energy, he turned those shit pots, those shit sticks into a thriving motherfucking business of how to exploit the homeless people in downtown Orlando. Now, I want you guys to listen to me good. If you go to the news, type in your computer, and you type in about 5-6 years ago, exploited homeless people, mafia, whatever you want to say, forcing the homeless people to panhandle, to sell ass, to do what, to bring them this. And they made the news. Because the dude was like, yeah, we don't make this money because the police was arresting them and removing them or putting them in blue zone. They said if we ain't make no money, man, we going to get hurt, killed, or whatever. And they said, you know, the Ukrainian Mafia finna do this shit to us. So I thought the shit was bullshit. I thought it was cray-cray. But no, it really happened. So now let's get back into the spiritual part of this shit. So once the Ukrainians, peoples, the mafias, however that shit run, once they did what they did, business got a lot better. Crime in the downtown area stopped. Shit, the homeless people were cleaning up the area. They were painting old lady houses. I mean, this shit was straight out of fairy tale, people. I mean, they were fixing fences. And this is the crazy part. The Ukrainian people, the mafia people, they was revitalizing the community because they didn't want the police and the cops fucking up the community. So I'm like, this is some weird shit. So I'm looking at the bit. I'm looking at them. And they was like, okay, who is a gunju? So I'm over there serving dope, bitch, and you just said my grandma's name, motherfucker, and I know you motherfuckers by chop chop. So now I done reach in my pocket. I got my little pistol, bitch. I'm, 22 years old, bitch. We finna have a little showdown, cause bitch, I ain't finna let you touch on grandmama for nothing. And he say, oh, that's a grandson. Ukrainian mafia man came over there and like grabbed my hand and he shook my hand and he took my right hand. I don't know what this means in that word, in that culture of crime. I'm not into that, y'all. Took my right hand, put my right hand in both of his hands, and he put it to his forehead, and he just bowed down. He didn't bow down. He just pulled my hand to his head and just bowed his head and touched man. He said, "Great lady that gunned you." And I'm like, what? He said, man, her go way back. So I said, okay. So he decided to, contact grandma. So I say, roll with me. I got in this nice little Lincoln. We drove over there to grandma. She was at my mom and them house then. So I ain't wanted to know where we lived. We lived in the project. So, bitch, you ain't finna come in the project with the fuck shit. So grandma seen him. Grandma ran up to him, gave him hugs and kisses, and she was just loving on him like it wasn't nothing. And I'm like, hold up, grandma, this is a criminal, man. This ain't this big criminal, bitch. This organized. And he told grandma, I handled that problem for you. And the motherfucker pull out an envelope and give it to grandma. Now, people, I'm gonna stop right there because I'm telling too much. I just thought about it. I can't go on with this one. So, people. So let me tell you what grandma did. So when grandmama, and she made it evidently clear. So after the dude, she thought the dude tried to put a spell on her. So grandma went over there and sprayed the ammonia and did all. She cleared the shit out. On the way out, grandma yanked up some of his motherfucking shit from the toilet, like not the toilet, but from like the trash can as she was going to her car, She yanked up some of his shit, probably whatever he put in there, food, fork, spoon, I don't know. So grandma took that shit with her. Grandma went and did a spell. Grandma contacted the Ukrainians and told the Ukrainians, what was going on. So they went over there on grandma's behalf and strong-armed him. And they put it to work. And did you know, until my grandma dying day, she would go to the subway on Kaylee and the Ukrainians would have an envelope there for her. They would have somebody sit there for grandmama and they would drop an envelope off into her. So I'm not trying to say grandma controlled the crime or the homeless people on Kaylee. I just say grandma had a hand in the Ukrainian mafia people had a hand in whatever grandma was doing. So grandma revitalized the community in some form or fashion, dealing with organized crime. They dropped her a portion and it get crazy. I don't even know if this story making sense as I'm telling it to you. In my mind, I know what's going on, but right now I don't know if it's making sense. So y'all gotta forgive me, people, because these shits are true. And the more I'm telling you, I say, hold the fuck up. It can't happen like that. People, until her dying day, she would go to the subway on Kaylee, sit in the motherfucking lobby. Somebody would be sitting there waiting on her, or she would walk in and they would hand her an envelope full of money. And she'll just walk out. And that was from the Ukrainian mafia type people. My grandma did a spell for the Ukrainian mafia people to control downtown Orlando homeless population to get a foothold. And she made the dude who was collecting people's shit a servant to them people. And they appreciated my grandma so much for that shit right there, that they took care of my grandma till her dying day. At my grandma's funeral, I never seen, like in a movie, motherfuckers wearing all black, white men, Ukrainian Russian side energy men, walk up there to the casket, and they each laid their right hand on the casket and they bowed down, and they like put their forehead, touch the back of their hand, their right hand with their forehead. About 5 of them, knee like bent down, boom, on grandma's casket like that, one at a time. People, this get real, man. So that's almost the end, but here is the coup de grace. So when grandma passed away, the dude, he carried on a little bit longer, but then he ended up getting sick and passing away. His apartment is still empty, open, and you can walk in. I could walk in that bit right now. This is years, people. The rent is still paid. The lights are still on. No police raided. And the homeless people still go in there, take shits, take shower. And there's one little old white lady, and she'll walk in there once a week, and she'll walk out with a bucket. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to take no pictures of them. I'm not going to do none of that shit, because I'm not trying to get into no bullshit. But people, that's how you exploit the homeless, with magic. And we'll talk about it on the recap. I don't even know how y'all gonna take this story, but this shit really happened, people. All right, everybody, I'm tight. Telling you guys, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, but it's truth, no doubt. Take care, everybody. Be safe. God bless. Watch where you shit. Have a good one.